Hey Cowboys fans! Welcome back to your favorite source of all things Dallas Cowboys. In today's video, we're unpacking the latest draft picks, the buzz around Trey Lance, and whether skipping a running back this year was the right move. Plus, we've got some heated debates about the strategic choices our management made this offseason that you won't want to miss. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, if you love the Cowboys as much as we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We're pushing towards our goal of 9,000 subscribers, and your support is crucial in helping us get there. So join our community and help us grow to bring more great content your way. Now, let's get into it. First off, Trey Lance, should his absence impact our draft grades? And with the decision to overlook the running back position in the draft, did the Cowboys miss a critical opportunity, or was it a stroke of strategic genius considering our current squad? We'll break it all down for you. Plus, we've got the inside scoop on whether bringing Ezekiel Elliott back was a nostalgic move or a strategic masterstroke. So stick around, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's kick off the discussion. Ready? Let's go! Today we're diving deep into the Cowboys' draft strategy, dissecting our picks, and, of course, giving you the latest updates from the draft aftermath. But before we get started, if you love the Cowboys as much as we do, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers, and every single subscription helps us grow and bring more of this content to you. So, show your support and let's keep this community thriving. First up, let's talk about something that's been buzzing in the Cowboys community. Trey Lance. Yes, should he be considered in this year's draft grades? Well, let's unpack that. Trey didn't play this year, and while his absence might not alter the grade drastically, it's an interesting point for our analysis. What do you think? Would including Trey affect our draft perspective? Comment down below. Moving on to another hot topic, the Cowboys not drafting a running back. Now, I understand the frustration here. With Rico Dowdle as our primary guy, and his health concerns, it felt crucial to secure a solid back this draft, especially with some strong options available in the third round. But the big question remains, was skipping on a running back in favor of other positions the right move? Now, let's not overlook the linebacker situation. Linebackers are invaluable, but given our current lineup and needs, should we have prioritized a running back instead? It's a classic case of strategic choices, and these decisions aren't made lightly. Cowboys management surely had their reasons, possibly related to medical evaluations or long-term team structuring which they deemed more urgent. Speaking of decisions, shout-outs are in order for Anthony Gonzalez, Tyrone Young, and Nathan Neal, who dropped super thanks after our last draft-focused show. Guys, your support means everything to us, and it's your engagement that keeps this channel alive. If you want a shout-out, don't forget to hit that super thanks button. We appreciate every bit of your support. Now, to address some of your burning questions. Xavier Worthy-Burner asked about not drafting Xavier Worthy or Cooper DeJean. True, both had potential to shine as Cowboys, but with the picks we had, the focus was evidently elsewhere. It's all about balancing immediate needs with future potential, and sometimes that leads to tough choices. Let's also talk about Tyler Gahn. Was he the right pick? Give us a Y for yes or N for no in the comments. And hey, don't just vote, tell us why. Your insights make our community discussions richer. As we look ahead, there's speculation about focusing on wide receivers in the 2025 draft, considering our current contracts and upcoming free agents. It's never too early to plan, right? And speaking of planning, the Cowboys' strategy in not just waiting for opportunities, but actively seeking them is something to keep an eye on. We need that proactive approach to stay competitive. Lastly, let's touch on Ezekiel Elliott. Bringing Zeke back could be seen as a strategic move or a nostalgic play. But can he return to form? That's a big question mark hanging over us. We need a power back, but is Zeke still that guy? Let's discuss that. Remember, your opinions and participation drive this channel. So drop your thoughts, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that bell icon to stay updated. We're aiming for 9,000 subscribers, and we can get there with your help. Let's make it happen. Now, let's shift gears and talk about our defensive line. The acquisition of players like Tyler Gone has sparked some debate. The Cowboys have always shown a knack for drafting strong offensive linemen, and this year was no exception. But was focusing on the offensive line over defensive prospects the best strategy given our current roster? On the flip side, we didn't secure Clus Campbell, who, as many of you know, could have significantly bolstered our defensive prowess. The Cowboys have set a somewhat conservative price tag strategy, which might have impacted this decision. Financial prudence is essential, but are we being too cautious, potentially at the expense of building a stronger defense? And that leads us to another crucial point: engaging in active negotiations. It's essential for the Cowboys to not just passively wait for opportunities, but to create them by actively pursuing potential trades and signings. This proactive stance is what separates the good teams from the great ones. Speaking of proactive, let's discuss our upcoming free agents and how we plan to address these gaps. With several key players potentially leaving, our approach to these positions in the next draft will be critical. Do we invest heavily in fresh talent, or do we bring in experienced players to fill these roles? And here's a fun segment: I want to hear from you guys in a more interactive way. If you could choose one player for the Cowboys to pursue next, who would it be and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love seeing your engagement, and it truly helps shape the content we create here. Now, let's take a moment to focus on our special teams. Often overlooked, the special teams unit can truly be a game changer. How well did we address this in the draft? Did we allocate enough resources to special teams, or is there still work to be done? Your thoughts on this would be highly appreciated as well. Today's deep dive into the draft aftermath and future strategies. A quick reminder: if you enjoyed our discussion and analysis, give us a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Help us grow by joining our community today. Your support makes all the difference. And speaking of competition within the division, let's talk about how our rivals are shaping up. It seems the Eagles are making moves designed specifically to counter our strengths. They've brought in talent like Mitchell and Dane to clamp down on receivers like CeeDee Lamb. But hey, as Brandon pointed out in his super chat, thanks for that, Brandon, our boys CD and Cooper are up for the challenge. It's going to be an exciting matchup to watch. Moving on to another interesting topic, our running back situation. A lot of you have been asking why we didn't draft a running back, especially with talents like Breece Hall making waves. It's a fair question. With the Jets hoarding backs like they're going out of style, and us bringing back Zeke, it does make you wonder about our strategy. And speaking of Zeke, how do you feel about his return? Do you think he's going to revive his powerhouse performances, or is this more about depth? Sound off in the comments, your opinion matters. Now, let's touch on a concern raised by Dan in our comment section about Mazi Smith. Dan asked if the Cowboys, under Dan Quinn's direction, may have mismanaged Mazi by having him lose weight, which could have taken him out of his typical playing style. From what we gather, it wasn't a direct instruction from the Cowboys, but perhaps a misunderstanding of expectations. Thankfully, it looks like there's a course correction happening. Mazi is reportedly bulking back up, which should help him return to form. And that brings us to another crucial point: how our coaching decisions affect player performance. It's not just about drafting talent, but also about how we use that talent. Cowboys fans, do you think our coaching staff is making the right moves to maximize our players' potential? Let's discuss. Before we wrap up, let's discuss the broader strategy of the Cowboys compared to the Eagles, as Vince brought up a great point. Why does it seem like the Eagles get more credit for their off-season moves? Well, it's possibly because they've been more aggressive in both free agency and the draft. They're making bolder moves, which often grabs headlines. But remember, at the end of the day, it's all about results on the field. Our roster has standout talents like Dak, Lamb, and Micah, who consistently prove their worth. Lastly, a quick look into the future. What are your thoughts on bringing back players like Stephon Gilmore? He's a veteran who could definitely bolster our defense. Do you think we should pursue him or focus on developing younger talent already on our roster? Drop your predictions in the comments. Alright, Cowboys family, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and remember, if you liked what you heard, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's rally together to hit our 9,000 subscriber goal. Share this video with your fellow Cowboys fans and help us keep bringing you the content you love. Stay tuned for more updates, analyses, and fan-focused content right here on Cowboys News TV. Until next time, keep those comments coming, keep the discussions lively, and as always, go Cowboys!